first question is, do both parents speak both languages with the children, for example, Spanish and Finnish, or does each parent speak only their own mother tongues to the child?
We mix languages. So I speak Finnish with them when we are outside in the street or with the people in the shops, or at home I just speak Spanish to them.
I speak only Finnish, but also, when we are inside the house, I could be talking in English to Carlos, and they are passive hearing our talkings.
So we speak in English together. We also speak English at home.
Nowadays.
And because he understands more.
Okay, and the second question, were the children's two mother tongues acquired simultaneously or sequentially, with one language learned before the other?
I think Alma learned first Finnish.
As a background, we were living in Stockholm, and I was mainly at work when she was little. So, she learned to speak Spanish later on.
Then I think it's different because we were living in Finland and Carlos was working at home. So they were all the time kind of close to each other.
Yeah.
So it went simultaneously, like both languages.
And also because Alma was able to talk Spanish already. So then, it was easier for him to also start speaking Spanish faster.
So Alma sequentially and
simultaneously. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. The third question, do the children continue practicing their two mother tongues outside the home, for example, at school with friends or with their grandparents?
In Finnish, of course, it's easy. It's cool all the time Finnish, and with the relatives in Joensuu in Finnish. But then Spanish, it is when they are talking video calls or when we are traveling to Mexico.
And I've been studying Spanish for a few courses at school.
In school.
When watching a movie or reading a book, which language do the children use?
Depends on, for example, if he reads a book with our mother, then he's reading in Finnish. But if it's a book with father, he reads it usually in Spanish. And also if we watch a movie together, if dad is with us, we usually watch in Spanish.
In Spanish.
But if it's just three of us, it could be English or Finnish.
Or also in English.
Yeah.
That if I would speak Finnish to them, of course my Finnish is not that good, and I would teach wrong Finnish. So in that case, she speaks Finnish because she knows Finnish. So, and then I can speak Spanish because I know Spanish, and then they learn the right language properly. So
do the children show a preference for one language over the other?
I think there are some situations like when the Spanish-speaking family is around, they are of course talking in Spanish, or if their children are talking to their dad, it is Spanish.
But probably the preference is when they are playing together, for example, and it can be both ways. Like I think they used to play more in Finnish when they were a bit smaller, but now I think they play quite much in Spanish as well.
I feel
like talking in Spanish.
Usually, when we're in a don't want others to understand when we're talking, we use always Spanish, more Finnish. So that's why Finnish has become more natural, or I would automatically if I start to speak something to Einar, I speak in Finnish usually, but sometimes we do speak Spanish as well.
If you play football, do you play in Spanish or in
English?
In
Spanish.
Do you sometimes speak to your children in both languages during the same conversation?
Yes. Yes, you do. Almost every day.
Every day. It could happen.
We could invent some words that are a mixture of both languages, which, for example, but then we would say pirtear, because verbs in Spanish usually end with er.
Podemos hacer popcorn
Oh,
Palomitas,
palomitas.
Like joking.
Do you do that to play or because sometimes it's easy to say one word in Spanish instead of
Yes.
Finnish?
It depends. Sometimes when we're speaking, for example, if we speak in Spanish and we're just speaking, some words are easier to just
They just
remember
come
in
up,
Finnish,
or
and they just come up
Yeah.
in Finnish. So we could times, for example, when I was in Mexico, I would speak Spanish and then suddenly I would say something wrong. I would be Egon, which is like oh, but no in Finnish.
Oops.
Or oops.
Yo, like yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just easier to say yo instead of si or yes.
Yo is
It's like
Yes.
Yo, like
Yes.
yes, but in Finnish.
Yeah.
yo.
Yo,
Ah,
yo,
como yo.
como yo.
Ah,
Yo.
okay.
Sometimes because we switch a lot at home, I've realized that at school when I'm speaking Finnish to my friends, I accidentally sneak in words from Spanish, and I'm like, wait a minute, I think, yeah, you probably don't understand what I'm saying. Okay, but I was like, órale, sí. Like, oh, but wait, that's not how it works. I would say like, oh, yeah.
Which country do you prefer? Mexico or Finland?
Finland. Ice fishing.
I'm fishing.
You have to decide one thing of each country. What do you choose of each country?
Ice fishing.
Ice fishing. You.
Probably the weather from Mexico and nature from Finland. For example, when it's dark, I feel really tired and I have no energy. But if it's always sunny and warm, I feel better and I feel like I'm doing much better in bright and sunny days than in dark.
What do you prefer, the food of Finland or the food of Mexico?
Food of
Mexico.
Mexico. Food of Mexico.
You need to come to taste the food Carlos makes with the
should make
kids.
some.
Yes, we should.
The cultural identity is like related with both country, with Finland and with Mexico.
Sometimes there's situations where I feel like, yeah, I'm very, very Mexican. And there's sometimes situations where I feel like I'm really Finnish or doing Finnish things. And it is sometimes a bit controversial to me because I experience sometimes this feeling that I'm a bit too Mexican to be Finnish or a bit too Finnish to be Mexican.
I have a question related that you said that some people say to you it isn't Finnish. What do your friends, teacher, or classmates think about the fact that you have two mother tongues?
In order to be my friend, they should accept me the way I am. And since I am both of the cultures, I am really lucky to have friends that accept me. And usually, I like to surround people who I'm interested in and who are also interested in me. And for example, teachers have been really supportive.
I think since the kindergarten, the teachers were supporting and letting Alma to be, and we have even videos where Alma is like 6-year-old and she is with her Mexican clothes and telling about her culture after the visit.
The last trip to
Really
So
nice.
if you want
Yeah.
to see, we still have
And
it.
I've been asked so many times to do a presentation about Mexico and every single time.
As a mother on the side, I think I have followed Alma that there has been like periods in time, like when she was more like about telling that I'm Mexican, and then maybe some first classes at school or second, third, it was a bit more like flat, like I don't do so much number about it. But then it came again like me, Mexican Alma, like
How is the reaction of your friends to know that you are part of Mexican?
Do they say anything when we speak in Spanish?
Always they say, I don't understand.
What
What did you say?
Yeah. But even though I'm 100% Mexican and my parents are in Mexico and the whole family actually is in Mexico, but the fact that you live abroad for so long, you are not the cultural part it starts to faint away bit by bit, and you are not 100% anymore like Mexican. Even though I do food and everything, but living in a different environment makes you to think also differently from the place you were living.
Because that changed too.
Yeah. So, and in myself, for example, I'm a person that I always try to pick the best part from my culture and take the best parts from the other culture. In this case, I'm in Finland, so I take the best parts of, or what I think that are the best parts. For example, morally speaking, or for example, being on time. People in Finland is like
yes,
you need to be on time. So and those kind of things that the things that you experience day by day here in Finland. Okay, take the best ones, because there is some other things that I don't like from the Finnish culture. So, for example, like when the people is too shy. So, but I respect that. But yeah, I'm not gonna turn like too Finnish to be like quiet, and so I will always be the person I am. And that's what I mean. Like the good things, I keep the good things, or try to learn the good things from one culture and keep the good things from the other culture. And I also try to teach the kids too.
It's a very good idea, this mentality.
Yeah.
Take the best part of each culture.
Yeah.
And also it makes me understand more other people. I'm not only speaking about Mexicans, but I'm speaking in other cultures that, yeah, it can affect kind of the way how you interpret things around you, or how you view different perspectives, and
In the very
Yes.
good way.
in a good way.
Yeah. You learn also to be more tolerant to the different thinking way or to the different cultures as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
And because the brain of the child has more flexibility to learn, and is easier than an adult, for example.
That if the kid could have a problem to learn the languages or make slower, like is there any like data about that the speech development comes like later if there is many languages?
It's wrongly said that teach more than one language in the early age to a child influence in a bad way that can slow their process of learning the language.
Yeah.
But it is not true. It's better, like because it is proof that it's better teach more than one
More than one
language, because the child have more flexibility, and it's easier to he or she learn the language than when he was a child, than when he was like a young adult or a teenager.
Yeah.
Yes, I investigate about that.
Yeah, that's why I guess they take the English and Swedish at the schools in Finland now earlier too.
Well, that's exactly now that you speak about this false fact. I remember that many times when we had kind of meetings in the kindergarten, especially when they were kids, they were asking exactly about that if we speak both languages, and probably thinking in the sense that it's slowing. I think she has been exceptionally good with languages in general. Like since she was
The
kid,
vocabulary very wide.
since she was kindergarten, she had like very wide Finnish vocabulary, and she was still be able to speak Spanish also. So
The main reason that Alma can speak fluently more than one language is for the fact that you teach Alma since she was a child both language.
Yeah.
I have been also thinking, is there difference because we lived in Sweden the first 3 years, so there was in the background even the Swedish.
Yeah.
And when Einar born, we were here in Finnish system, kind of like, and also the difference between the children.
What challenge have you faced when teaching both language to your children?
One as I mentioned, it's exactly like the differences. For example, because for me, I don't know for example, when I was supporting them in mathematics, I don't know the terms in Finnish. So, and it's difficult for me to use exactly the same terms in Finnish to help them or support them in mathematics. So, for me, it has been exactly to support them in specific subjects of the school. Yeah.
Speak Finnish, it is not really like, I don't know, like if there has been really like challenges. I think it's more like between the adults, like if I need to do the shopping list for the supermarket or
Finnish is not my strong language, so I need to ask the translation to also make an opinion, because it's something that it's important to discuss together as a family. And it has been exactly when the things are serious, it is challenging, so we need to translate each other, like either in English, Finnish or Spanish, but 3 languages goes in the same discussion.
The last question, but for you, for the children, when you try to learn 2 languages, what is the most difficult part of you?
They speak, because they speak also English, they have trouble to roll the R's. Not struggle with that ever.
Yeah, probably exactly. Einar has had exactly the R things. Sometimes he forgets when it needs to be stronger or when, but
your trouble is with the pronunciation of the R, but for Alpha, don't face with this problem.
Yeah.
For example, when I was 10 years old, I could read Spanish, but I could not write Spanish. Kind of hard. I basically knew that there were some basics, like 2 L's are pronounced as G, or H is sometimes silent, or G is J, stuff like that. I knew these things, but sometimes when I was writing, I was like unsure. If I try to put the accent marks, and if I'm in a hurry, I sometimes forget to always put it. Example between esta y está. And when you pronounce it, you can imagine in your head, okay, está. So it will, the accent mark will become in the place of a. And that's how I could, that's how I basically did it. And when I memorized it every time, I was...
That's the end of the interview. Thanks for
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.